Welcome to Mood Activations of Gumbardo. I just showed you my hand. I'm still in the cast. And that's why I really haven't been on top of it every day. It's really difficult. The more I move, the more it hurts. And I get a lot of stuff from people because I haven't been on top of it every day. Lately, since I have 3 cracks in my wrist. I didn't even know if I was going to make it today, but here I am. Yeah. Little kitty cat. I noticed some things I shared, maybe I shared too much. Because what I'm hearing is other people taking it and using it to their advantage without doing any of the work. I'm not happy about that. When I say something, it's not for you to use it and turn it into something else. There's only one way out, and that's you must go through it. To take it and turn it around to try to make a profit is really I'm just not okay with it. And then what did you expect me to do? When I seen it, what did you expect me to do? It's just not okay. Especially since you took and gave nothing in return. And especially if you had the means and did nothing. The last activation I did part activation, part talk. Now the last actually was the past few ones that I did. I talked a lot. And I couldn't use them because I said too much. People want me to speak my truth, but then when I do speak my truth, it's too much for them to handle. So should I be selective about what my truth is, just to make you happy? Or would you prefer, that's like asking me to sugarcoat it. Would that make you feel better? Because to me that's phony, and I'm not into it. I'm not here to impress you. I'm not here to be a people pleaser. I'm not here to give in to what you want to hear in order to make you feel good. Like they say, if you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. So I have to curb what I'm saying just to appease everyone else who doesn't want to hear it, and allow others to just take and try to turn it into something that it was never meant to be, and they gave nothing in return for that. And did you think that you'd get away with it and I wouldn't find out about it? Isn't that something? Or did you think I would applaud it and be supportive of it? For what? Because you're trying to put yourself on a pedestal by the whole way you went about it. But that is the ways of the world, isn't it? All about the ego. You know, for the longest time, I hear people saying things that I wasn't at liberty to speak about. But yet it was okay for them to speak about it. So I feel like I'm, limited to what I can and can't say. And that's not fun. Who wants to live a life like that? So I got so fed up, I just did the activations and said, I'm not playing this game, I'm just going to do the activation, that's it. Then recently, when I'm receiving information about what's going on in the world, I don't know what's going on everywhere, but I get, things. And lately it's about the cruelty to the elephants. They have elephants who they've taken 3 babies from to give rides to the ignorant human, but they're too stupid to see that you're paying for them to abuse that animal. That animal is underweight. And he never gets a break. And yet you, as an ignorant human, buy into that abuse. And you don't do anything to try to free that animal from that cruelty. It's just disgusting. There's a couple of them. Then you have another one that's been a slave for 37 years to the logging industry. Now, from what I know, logging is illegal. So why are there assholes on the face of this earth logging? Why aren't they behind bars? Why didn't they lose everything? If you're a logger, you should lose your house, your car, and everything. If you're abusing an animal like the elephants, you should lose your car and everything and be without and be homeless. And that means your entire family as well, because they did nothing to help that elephant either. I tell you, I'm not for the ignorant human and the ways of treating animals like slaves for profit, or people. People were very afraid for me to wake up because they knew all that I knew before I began to wake up and find out. I don't want to say too much. I almost did right there. I can't fake being a beyond extreme super sensitive empath. I can't fake it. I went through my life being comfortably numb, not wanting to feel, keeping myself occupied, busy, active, being fit, and not having to deal with anything that would make me feel or think about things I didn't want to think about or deal with things I don't want to deal with. And by living that life and not and avoiding it didn't really do any good. It just wasted time and prolonged the inevitable. So if you're out there working like a dog, trying to keep your body fit and how you look, and you never went within, and you never, you don't know yourself, well, could you risk losing it all to know yourself? I mean, could you let go every muscle tone in your body to know yourself? Are you willing to do that? How far would you go if God asked you to do that? What would you do for God? To have God in your life, how far would you go? If Jesus asked you to do it, would you listen? What are you willing to lose? Could you lose it all and never look back? If you were asked to do that? What are you willing to give up and let go of? And then recently, today I received some messages like that were very nasty because I didn't do one yesterday. So they started sending me stupid messages of a coffin. Get off my back, number one. Number two, I've been doing this a lot longer than you think I have. So don't you for a freaking second think you know me. And don't you, by thinking you could read some cards and figure out what's going on and that you have a right to send me a message like that. Who the frick are you? The nerve of you. Anyone on the face of this earth has anything negative to say about me, you don't know me. And anyone that wants to send me a message of a coffin, well, let me ask you this. Are you willing to give up your home, your car, every freaking thing you worked for? And let it all go to where you're on the street and have nothing. And now you're an orphan on top of that. And you have no income coming in. Could you handle that? And then could you still continue on believing and trusting and having faith and continue to do what your higher self is guiding you to do? No matter what your situation, no matter what your circumstances, could you do it? And how long would you stick it out for? How long would you stick it out for? 10 days maybe? Could you do it for a month? How about 6 months? A year? Could you do it longer than a year? How about a decade? Could you do it longer than a decade? How about 25 years? Could you do it that long? And still believe and have faith and trust? All while listening from the peanut gallery some negative messages that you've got no business fucking sending to me. Yeah, that's right, I said the F word. Because I really don't give a shit anymore. You know, I've never really used curse words until I stepped into this because, number of reasons. But one thing about me is I'm not phony and I'm not fake. I'm not here to impress you, but there's a lot of shit you don't know that I now know because I've been through it. And yet you want to look to whoever and trust in that. I'll just end it there. Whoever you most resonate with to do the work you need to do, that's good for you. Not only am I a beyond extreme super sensitive empath, I'm one of the rarest people on the face of this earth. What makes me rare is that I woke up and did whatever it took for as long as it took. No matter who said what about me, no matter who treated me how, no matter what my circumstances, no matter what my situation was, no matter who said what. And there's a lot of shit going on this planet that I don't agree with. Like, if I see people treating someone a particular way, that they have no business speaking to them like that. They're not going to do it in front of me. I won't put up with it. For me, this is much more than just doing activations. I can't just do an activation and ignore what else is going on out there in the world. nor do I give myself a reason or an excuse to be cheap or stingy, because this planet doesn't need that kind here. If you're cheap and you're stingy, you don't belong here. If you're a liar and you're negative and all the harmful things you've done to people, it's going to come up and blow up in your face. Like what the Chinese did with Tibetans in Lhasa. And they'll never escape that, because the Tibetans were a peaceful people. They taught the world that when they build their temples, when they dig into the ground, they harm nothing. How many architects, developers, and construction workers do that? But yet they want their jobs saved, when they're not even caring or respecting the planet. And then you people want to come up, and some of you want to show up with an attitude or some dumb look on your face. You can take your ego and stuff it, because I'm not interested. I'm not impressed. If you grew up with a silver spoon in your mouth and you had a mommy and a daddy and a family that, took care of your career, great, congratulations. But we're all of our journeys are different, and you can't compare the two. I didn't come to this planet just to perfect my craft. And then try to make a profit off of it. There's more serious things going on this planet than that. Congratulations to those of you that did. But some of us weren't so fortunate like that. I had mentioned before, when you approach me, make sure you feel it out before you send it. Because if you can dish it, you can take it. And then I get some other dumb messages about an SP. Listen, if you are that stupid to think that I'm in this for an SP, then you better quit what you're doing and find something else to do. I'm not into this for an SP, or what you call a twin flame, or a soulmate. I could give a shit less. And in fact, I hate those words. If it's not the truth and it ain't true, I don't care what it is. I want nothing to do with it. So hear me loud and clear, and don't send me any stupid messages like that again. You understand? Because I'll shove it right back in your face. I don't need to be overly nice. And I don't need to take your crap either. But you're pushing me with sending me these things that are happening to the animals, and you've got all these people on the planet that aren't doing anything about it. You've got some people there who need the funds to rescue them, to pull them off wherever they are in the world and bring them to the sanctuary, and they need lots of food because they're not feeding them either because they're too thin. To have an elephant and take 3 babies from them just so that they could be a slave to give rides. Somebody should beat the living daylights out of those people. That's a horrible thing to do. So they should experience what they did to that elephant. And if they have kids, all their kids should be taken from them. See how they like it. I mean, if that's the way you're going to treat an animal, that's the way you should be treated. And if you're not doing anything good for this planet or for the wildlife or for others, what are you doing here? I mean, look at the job you have or whatever it is you do. Is it really serving the highest good of all? And did you ask the planet herself? Is the work you're doing satisfying her? Is it serving her highest and best? Then you go a little deeper and you ask, well, is it serving the highest and best of the nature, the wildlife, and people? If not, you better rethink what you're doing. Because when karma blows up in your face, don't wonder why. A lot of people don't like it when I talk like this. Well, what am I supposed to do? Just sweep it under the carpet and just keep doing the activations and keep focusing on that and ignoring the rest of this over here? So then by me doing that, I'm no better than the person who is being cruel and abusive to an animal or people or whatever. I'm not going to keep my mouth shut about it. God gave you a mouth, use it. And the only way you're going to be free is if you break out of your own prison. Just because you have money doesn't mean you're free. Just because you have name, fame, and status doesn't mean you're free. If you just did this until you had name, fame, and status and then gave up on it, well then, I didn't do that. No matter what, I kept going. How many people do you know would have done that? And could you do it all while financially suffering. Could you do that? To top it off, could you continue to do it even while you're getting hurt physically at all the places you're living at? Like, what if you fell and cracked, what if you fell and cracked your wrist in 3 places? Or what if you fell off at somebody's house that you were taking care of, their dog, their plants in their house, and you fell and hurt your spine on your whole left side? Would you still keep going? Or would you give up because you have a little pain? Would you keep going if you had to fast for more than a week? More than a month? How about most of the month of the whole year? For years, could you do that? I mean, how far are you willing to go to know yourself? There are people who have such self-control over their own being. They haven't had anything to eat or drink in 14 years. Now that is impressive. That's having great control over your own physical being. And then everybody wants to think, oh, well, if they throw some money at this, they'll be able to figure out that. It doesn't work like that. You can throw all the money you want out to try to do test after test, experiment after experiment. You're still not going to find out because you're going about it all the wrong way. There's a lot that I know that I'm not able to share. Well, not like this anyway. And it's not okay to go through life being comfortably numb. Or to keep yourself distracted and busy or heavily addicted because you don't want to feel. The more you feel, the better. The less you think, the better. If you've never done that before, try doing that and staying on top of it. Excuse me. I'm feeling pain all in my wrist, my arm, because I really shouldn't be out walking right now. And I've just about had it with these stupid messages. You don't even let me rest. My wrist is cracked in 3 places. I deserve to be able to rest to allow it to heal. Because if I don't sleep at night and then I get up, I never know when it's just going to knock me out. I'm not taking any pain medicine. I'm not on any medication. And then I get other people who think they're suddenly an authority, who want to suddenly choose a new chosen, and because they want things to go the way they see fit. Doesn't work like that. And then you have the audacity to say, well, then let somebody else who can do that for the world do it. Mind your own business, okay? If you didn't do anything for that person you're talking to, then just sit there and be patient. Because like I said, things I want to talk about, I'm not at liberty to say, because I have tried over and over again, but couldn't use it, because when I did use it, then everybody had a complaint and had to take it down. And we all know why that is now, don't we? Maybe not all of us, but the ones who knows what's going on do. The ones who can't figure it out will put a mask on their face and do a dance. Or put a wig on their face and do a dance. And maybe a song. Like, how does that serve the highest good of all? What's your point and purpose to that? Now, if you're doing that to cover your face because you have a gruesome audience, well, then I can understand that, because indeed you do. And you're not even aware of it. I do the same thing. Like I said in the beginning about people and the way they talk to others, or how they treat the planet or animals. So, you gotta figure, are these people showing up to what you're doing? That's what I mean by gruesome. I didn't think I'd have to spell it out for you. And then a lot of people got their feathers all bent out of shape because I put it like that. Because I said I I do not entertain corruption. Have any of the Ascended Masters done that? I don't follow the ways of the world. I never did. For me, it was never a solution to anything. It didn't get me anywhere. I said this before, and I'll say it again. If you're spiritually bankrupt, nothing matters. Not your money, not your home, not anything you worked for. It doesn't matter. Because you can't take it with you when you die. Not your fame, not your name, not your nothing. It doesn't matter if you're spiritually bankrupt. But that's on you, who thinks they know everything or doesn't want to try to understand, always wants to remain in confusion. That's on you. I'm not going to entertain that. Nor did I hear something and then try to take it from somebody else and make it my own and then, make money off of it and give nothing in return. Especially if you had the means, and then what showed up, you know that they're struggling financially because of... You could figure it out. I don't need to spell it out for you. And then why don't we have a solution to mosquitoes and no-see-ums? This bug should cease to exist. Or these bugs should cease to exist. But you've got idiot rich people that want to create stuff like that because they feel that they're a more important species and that their line should continue. I'm here to tell you, dummy, it don't work out like that. I've said this before, you have no power against me. And just because you have money doesn't mean jack. Come for me, see what happens. Because if you think that I don't know your every move, you're dead wrong. But if everybody on the planet took this seriously and focused on their own alignment, their own vibration, stilling the mind and feeling more and think less, this would be the best thing they could do for themselves. If people took it seriously. But you've got to give your consent, make the conscious choice, and use your free will to do it. Nobody can do it for you. And I hate this when people say, nobody's coming to save you. There's no savior. I didn't ask you for your 2 cents. Okay. I don't make excuses as to reasons to be cheap or stingy or try to hold on to my money. Okay, when I started out, you're like, give. So if I had $20, say I had my last 20 in my pocket and I gave to somebody who didn't have anything to eat, who was really hungry, that was okay for me to do that. But what are you doing? They say, if God blessed you, how are you being a blessing to others with what you have? If you're looking the other way, master of excuses, do it nothing, you're not doing anything. And people don't like that I say that, but I don't really care. Because if I can do it, why aren't you? So you'd rather see suffering right in front of your face And whether that one is in service to all and is an orphan, you don't give a shit about it. So where's the love, unity, and oneness in that? You'd rather watch them suffer and look the other way to see what they're going to do and how they're going to get out of that situation. And then what? You want me to believe in what? When you showed me what kind of example you are as a human being. Did you show up in my life to be a friend? Did you show up anywhere in my life where I needed it most? No, but you could certainly shoot your mouth off and be critical and condescending and want to take a cheap shot, take a cheap stab and say something negative to try to bring them down. But to say something kind and positive, that's a whole different story. My wrist is screaming right now. Screaming. Because I'm out walking doing this, I just wanted to rest until the pain got a little better, until it dissipated somewhat. I'd like to be permanently, I would really like this to be behind me already and be a thing of the past, but it's not. Now, I don't know what you fought tooth and nail for. But if you're not fighting for your soul, I don't know what the fuck you're doing. If you're not making God a priority, I don't know what you're doing. If you don't have Jesus, you don't got nothing. If you don't have God, you don't have anything. And here you are wanting to send me a negative message. And you're not even paying my bills. You didn't open your doors to me to let me stay with you. You didn't do anything. Just once in a while, once every blue moon, it's like a positive pep talk that didn't amount to anything. Didn't change my situation, my circumstances, or anything like that, so. Well, let's see if I can use this or not. So, I'll see the reaction. Please like, share, and subscribe. The more people this reaches, the better. If you like me doing energy readings, send me a photo. And if you have any comments or anything you care to share, you can send it to my email at reinadhabsbyrg@gmail.com. I'll see you next time.